and just start with the Argentina-Australia clash. I see it's being played in a bit of a different venue up on the Gold Coast. The reasons for that, Rob?
Yeah, I suppose poor old Argentina tend to get sort of taken to the sticks when they go to New Zealand and Australia, as it were. And as we were discussing before we went on air, it almost seems a little bit of a sort of a patronising thing. You'd think that the Pumas do sometimes deserve to get the crack at sort of an Ellis Park, at a Eden Park, or in Sydney or something. But it doesn't happen that way. I suppose it's a chance for the Aussies to kind of take the game elsewhere. We know that there's so much threat to rugby union from all the different codes. So you've got to spread the gospel a little bit, sort of take it to the sort of Australian version of the Platteland, if you like. I'm not sure if you can call Gold Coast Platteland, but nevertheless, one of the smaller venues. It's a game that I think I heard Nick Mallett and a few of the other Supersport pundits talking about how they felt that there was a chance of an upset, and that the Argentinian scrum, if they restore the sort of scrummaging efficiency that they had against the Springboks, of course it wasn't so evident when they played the All Blacks last week, but if they restore that against that pretty wobbly Australian pack, that there's just the possibility of an upset in that game. But I don't think so. I still think that the Wallabies will do enough. I'm not sure that they'll win it with a bonus point, but I think the Wallabies will do enough.
Garen, your thoughts?
I was just having a little silent chuckle when we talked about Argentina being taken to the sticks. We did play them at Loftus, so enough said there.
Yeah.
But I agree with Rob. I saw a lot of bookies favouring Argentina, and certainly, when it comes to the set piece and the scrum and the rolling ball, they'll certainly be the favourites there. But Australia will want to spread the ball wide, obviously keep the errors down to a minimum. They're missing a couple of players. Both teams have made sort of 2 or 3 changes, some through injury, some through lack of form. I still think Australia will be too strong. They sort of have to win if they have any say left in this tournament, and really it's not looking great for them. But I expect them to win. Hopefully it's rain-free and it's dry, because we've had so many wet games in this year's tournament, and the game is a high-scoring game. I think it will suit Australia if they just both teams run the ball, and it sort of finishes in that 40-30 sort of point range. Both teams scoring 4 tries, turning down kicks at goal, sort of giving each other a go. I mean, Argentina are pretty much out of the tournament. They've got pride to play for. Hopefully they turn that into a positive for them and elect to run the ball rather than sort of scrumming. We know they can scrum. They have the best scrum perhaps in the world, let alone in this tournament. So a lot obviously depends on the ref. We talked about a lot about the refs. I think it might be Craig Jabir refereeing. I'm not too sure. Hopefully he lets the game flow and we have a fantastic spectacle. Obviously that game kicks off just after 12 o'clock South African time on Saturday. It'll be a nice sort of like after the Springboks have played match to sort of wind down.